So we're here in Clovis, California. We just finished reinstalling this toilet. So this is existing to the home. It's a Toto toilet, real nice toilet. And putting it back together, a couple things. One, the closet flange that's sitting in the floor, the cement floor around it slopes up to it, which leaves the back of the toilet and the front of the toilet up in the air. So backside, we've got two hard plastic shims right toward the back, just to keep that from moving around. Right where the bolts are, the toilet is touching wood floor. Up in the front, we've got a couple more shims in the side, one here on the side and one over here on the side, and that just keeps it from, you know, it supports downward weight is what you need right here. Otherwise, it just pivots across the bolts back there, and eventually you have a problem. So, two wax rings in there, brand new brass bolts. Cocked it back in because you can see how high this is off the ground in the front. So everything looks good in there. One note is these tank bolts were leaking, and this is existing, so you can see. Looks like at one point, because of the green, they had some kind of a cleanser. You can see on the bolts down there the greenish color, and then the stain. Looks like they had an in-tank cleaner. Don't use those. Those will wear out the parts in there real fast, and they will get leaking. From the bottom here, these tank bolts were leaking. So these guys, that's existing. So that's a bolt there. It's looking pretty dry right now. We tightened it down with our little tool. And then on the other side, you can see, hopefully, that guy's still dry as well. So just monitor this area. You know, back in here, any kind of moisture at all. You know, we did change out the angle stop as well. That was one of the old integrated corrugated supply lines, the chrome, and we just went to move it a little bit and it snapped off right there anyway, so you knew time was up on that one. So this is quarter turn shut-off valve, you know, quarter turn off and quarter turn on. So those are good for working on stuff, hard stop. And then a brand new brass craft supply line up to the toilet. So that's good. Once we got it all back together, of course, another issue we had was in here, the fill valve was not shutting off, and it was new. It was original to the tank, which is the Toto, and so the water was just running, never shutting down. And so homeowner went and picked up another fill valve for us, which was kind, we thought, and we installed it here. It's a Fluid Master, just the same thing we install on all of our toilets, generic. So it's adjusted correctly, so it fills up to the level it's supposed to. It shuts off correctly, and it flushes correctly. So everything in here is good on the toilet. Over here on the sink, homeowner put the cabinet back in place. Unfortunately, it had a little rock to it. And I know these legs are probably adjustable, but to pull this out on this wood floor and tip it back and try and adjust these, you know, we don't want to damage your wood floor. So what we did is the homeowner had also bought some of these little furniture pads. You can see a little felt pad stuck in there. And then right in between, you can see that that little tannish color is the foot pad. It may or may not adjust up and down. I do not know. We didn't try and get a wrench in there. Like I say, we don't want to damage the floor. And then the bottom part, it's dark brown, and that's the furniture pad. So that's on both sides. It's supporting it real well. And then, of course, we went ahead and put the screws back in up there. You can see a screw on the left, and that's all that was in there before, and then a screw on the right. So it's secured to the wall, and it's pretty sturdy. You know, it's not going to go anywhere. Back here in the back, the shutoff valves were in fine condition. They're not quarter turn, but they were shutting down, and that's fine as well. We did go ahead and give you new supply lines here. And those are brass craft, straight out of Home Depot, 3/8 by half, 3/8 OD by 1/2 inch IPS up there to connect to the faucet, so that's good. One thing I like about this faucet is the mounting system. This is original, we didn't install this, but the mounting nut underneath here, underneath the cabinet, is made of plastic. And that's not a good mounting system, it's just a nut and screws on. So these guys, you know, just be real gentle with these. Don't over torque them back like trying to close them or overturn them forward, because what's going to happen, it'll spin that brass stem down there, and these are just connected with braided hoses, similar to what you see on the water supply line up in there. Let me see if we can get you a picture. Picture's worth 10,000 words, I guess, maybe, or a video. So you can see those up there. There's what I'm talking about, that blue plastic, and on the other side you got red plastic. So those will spin pretty freely, and you don't want that. So if you over torque these handles, opening and closing the faucet, you will spin that loose, and pretty soon it'll just be wobbling around up here. So just be gentle with this. Like I said, we didn't install that. We just fastened the cabinet back to the wall, put on new supply lines, and of course we cut the old trap out there and gave you a new tubular P-trap, so that's all good. You can see where the old trap is leaking down here. So everything's good in this powder bath. We're going to go do some work in the rest of the house. We'll take another video when we're done.